Hey, what is up, you awesome people? Clunky here, and welcome to my no BS best Havoc Demon Hunter build for the patch 10.2.7 Season 4 in Dragonflight. In this guide, we're gonna talk about what are the best stats possible right now, how to get the best in slot items, and what are they. And then we're gonna jump straight into the talents. I'm gonna show you guys the best PvP talents possible, and then I will be showing you guys the full burst rotation that is going to allow you guys to deal some massive freaking damage. So let's get straight into it. All right, as for the very best stats possible for your Demon Hunter, we're gonna look at the very best player in the whole world for solo shuffle for Demon Hunter, which is Demon Couch. This dude is sitting at 2.6k rating right now. Okay, so mastery all the way. Mastery for Demon Hunter actually makes your damage happen, so as much mastery as freaking possible. As for your versatility, you want 30%. That is baseline for almost every character right now in Dragonflight. Okay, so moving on for the stats, which are critical strike and haste. If it was possible to just take all the crit and all the haste and put it into mastery, we would do it. But it is not possible because of the tier set. It's kind of weird because most of the time you don't want more than 30% of a particular stat for your character. The reason why is diminishing returns. That's the reason why. You don't get as much value if you keep putting more stats into the same stat. But for Demon Hunter, mastery is just disgustingly too good to not invest everything into it. Alright, so moving on to the very best in slot items and how to get them, guys. So, as for the Helm, you want the Screaming Torch Fiend's Burning Scowl. Okay, it has haste on it, but as I was explaining, it is not possible with the tier set to only have mastery on your gear. But I'm going to show you guys how to get that Helm exactly. It is pretty simple. You need to go into the PvP area in Valdraken, which is right here, and then you talk to Calderax, and then you can buy one of those two Draconic Gladiators leather mask. And then I'm gonna show you guys how to actually switch your piece of gear into a piece of tier set of your choice. So we just left Valdraken right now. Okay, I'm leaving Valdraken right now, and we are flying towards Tierhold. Okay, Tierhold on the map, and then we are going to enter that castle in the mountain, and inside there is going to be what is called the Revival Catalyst. And what is going to happen is every time you want to switch a piece of PvP gear into a piece of tier set, you will need to go to the Revival Catalyst. And then assuming you bought that helmet, you're going to just drag that helmet from your inventory, put it into the Revival Catalyst right here on the green plus sign, and then click on transform, and bang, you got your first piece of tier set. And as for the gem on this dude's helmet, basically every week you can fill up your vault by doing PvP activities, and then if you don't like the vault picks that you get, you can actually instead take a gem socket, which you can apply to your helmet. So that's literally how this dude did it. And then he bought a gem from the auction house and applied it in his socket on his helmet. Again, for the necklace, you want mastery and versatility gems. As for the 64 primary stat and 56 mastery, what happens is with a Spark of Awakening, you can actually buy on the work orders a gem that gives you primary stat and mastery, which is kind of costly, but you know, if you want to min max, that's your choice, I guess. As for the shoulder piece, you want Screaming Torch Fiend's Horned Memento. How to get them? It's literally the same way as for the helmet. So you get conquest point, you exchange those conquest points for the shoulder piece at the conquest vendor, and then you put them into the Revival Catalyst. Big bada boom, you got it. Now, as for your cape, you want the cape that is called Draconic Warmonger's Cape. The reason why it has a bunch of mastery right now, it is pretty much best in slot, and it is free. Okay, you want the Regenerative Leech enchant that you can buy from the auction house, Okay, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to get that cape. It's pretty simple. You just go into the PvP area and Dragon once more, and then you talk to this NPC Segnar. He's going to give you one quest. In fact, it's a weekly quest that you can repeat every week, and then when you complete it, it will award you with Trophy of Strife, which you can then use to buy this cape right here, Draconic Warmonger's cape. As for the chest, you will absolutely want the life-bound chest piece, okay? And you get the Waking Stats Enchant from the auction house. I'm gonna explain you guys how to get that piece because it's a little bit confusing, especially if you haven't played Dragonflight in a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna need two things for that piece of gear, and trust me, it's worth it. So first of all, you will need Sparks of Awakening. How do you get them? Pretty simple. In PvP area, once again, we talk to Militia. She's going to give you a couple of quests, and completing those quests are going to give you Splintered Sparks of Awakening, which you can then combine together to create a full Spark of Awakening. This is the step one of what we need to do before we can actually craft that piece of gear, okay? The next step is super simple. By just winning some PvP matches, you will be awarded a box, which I don't have right now. I've already completed that step. And then once you open that box, it will give you a quest, and when you accept that quest, you will be told to talk to Calderax. You only need to talk to Calderax and click on accept and finish the quest. It takes like 5 seconds. Then when you speak to Calderax to complete your quest, you will be awarded 2 Draconic Trophy of Conquest, which then you can use to craft your life-bound chest piece. Alright, so now that you got your 2 Trophy of Conquest and you got those 2 Splintered Sparks of Awakening, which you already combined, at that point, you're gonna need to go over what is called the work orders in Valdraken, where I am right now. You're gonna talk to this goblin right here, type down life bound, then you need to click on Lifebound chest piece. Okay, once this is done, we're gonna take a look at all the ingredients that you actually need to buy at the auction house to be able to craft that best in slot epic piece of gear. Okay, so first up, you're gonna need those ingredients that are right here. Secondly, you're gonna need to choose the stats of your piece of gear. Okay, so very important, we're gonna need to go in this category right here. We're scrolling down towards this one right here, which is called Draconic Missive of the Harmonious, which gives mastery and versatility. So this allows us to actually choose the stats of our item, which is, you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it, or else if you don't do that, your stats are going to be random, which we don't want. Okay, so then you write down that name because you're gonna buy it later at the auction house, and then you want to go in this category right here. We're scrolling down towards what is called Blue Silken Lining. You absolutely need this enchant, which you can actually buy from the auction house because it's going to be the best in slot for Demon Hunter. Basically what it does, it makes it so that while you are above 90% health, it gives you like 1k more mastery. So that's why this dude's mastery is so high. This is how you achieve max mastery on your Demon Hunter. So I'll let you guys go gather all your ingredients and make sure you pick up the right ones that I've shown you, and then come back at the work order once you've bought them from the auction house, and then you can make your best in slot item. Why this is important? Because I actually have 2 of those embellishments, as we call them, okay? 2 blue silken lining on my crafted best in slot pieces. And then what it's giving me, it's actually giving me 2100 more mastery. That is huge. You're gonna want to use the Draconic Warmonger's wraps for your wrist. Again, this piece comes from the weekly PvP quest that I spoke about, okay, with the Trophy of Strife. So it's pretty much a free piece of gear. You're gonna want to use the Leech enchant on your wrists. Moving up to the gloves, bro's actually running the Screaming Torch Fiend's Grasp. Again, it's a piece of tier set which you can actually again buy from the Conquest vendor and turn it into a piece of tier set at the Revival Catalyst. As for your belt, you want the Draconic Warmonger's belt, which you can get again from doing the weekly PvP quest that gives you Trophy of Strife. For your leggings, okay, so here's the cool part. Okay, bro's using the Screaming Torch Fiend's Blaze Wraps, which is actually best in slot. And this piece of gear, he actually got it for free. So I'm gonna show you guys how to get it. Okay, it's pretty simple. Whenever you actually hit 1600, which is 1.6k rating in rated PvP, be it in 3 versus 3 arenas, RBGs, solo shuffle, and 2 versus 2, whenever you reach that mark, you actually get what is called a mark of mastery. And once you get that, you can actually exchange it for a piece of tier set of your choice. So again, we are in Valdrakken right here. Assuming you hit that 1600 in PvP, we're gonna go to that house that is right here on the map. And then once you get that mark of mastery, all you have to do is come talk to Arestrosa. Okay, and then be wary. Okay, be wary. Okay, when you buy your piece of gear, you want to buy your piece of gear from the right column. Okay, you don't want to buy it from the left column because left side is PvE gear. If you actually buy your leggings from the left side, it is going to suck in PvP. So you want to buy it from the right side of the tree. Okay, I almost did that mistake. So as for the boots, you're gonna want to use the Lifebound boots. We will need to craft the Lifebound boots as we've done for the Lifebound chest piece. Again, running the embellishment that gives you more mastery while above 90% health. This is going to be super good since we're actually using it again on the Lifebound chest piece. Remember, it gives me 2.1k more mastery while above 90% health. Again, the Lifebound boots, it's going to be the same thing again. You're going to need one full charge of a Spark of Awakening, okay? And then you're going to need one Trophy of Conquest. But at this point, if you've done the quest like I've shown you guys, you will have enough to buy the Lifebound chest piece and then the Lifebound boot. So don't worry about that. Just get another Spark and you're good. For the enchants on your legs, sorry about that, you want the enchant that gives you 177 agility and strength and 131 stamina, which is bought from the auction house. Again, on your boots, you want the Plain Runner's Breeze enchant. And then moving on to the rings, you're gonna need mastery rings. Okay, so Conquest vendor, you buy one from the Conquest vendor, and then you can buy the Draconic Combatants Gerald Signet from the auction house, which has a bunch of mastery. And on top of that, you can put a mastery gem on top of it. And then you can add mastery entrance. Okay, mastery everywhere, totally. As for your offensive trinket, you want the Draconic Aspirant's Insignia of Alacrity. It is going to be much better than the 1 minute unused one. Then for your defensive trinket, you want the Draconic Gladiator's Medallion. Way better than adaptation. Please don't play adaptation. Now that we spoke about the very best stats, the best in slot items and how to get them, by the way, if you would hit the subscribe button and the bell button, just because it took a lot of time to make, so I would highly appreciate it. As for the very best PvP talent available for Demon Hunter in Season 4, it is Glimpse. Why Glimpse? You never want to switch that PvP talent ever. It is because whenever you use Vengeful Retreat, okay, it provides absolute immunity against any CC in the whole game. So fears, stuns, silences, no matter what it is, you will be immune to it. You just got to be timing it perfectly. Let's say someone is trying to stun you, you just glimpse, and for as long as you're in the air, you are immune to absolutely any CC in the whole game. The next best PvP talent that you can use right now is going to be called Chaotic Imprint, okay? But it is complicated to understand. I'm gonna explain it as simple as I can. every time you throw a glaive, which is going to be every time you press Blade Dance because of your tier set right here, okay? Every time you press Blade Dance, you automatically trigger a throw glaive, okay? It is going to deal damage from a random school of magic, okay? It sounds bad. It sounds okay. Wow, I'm buffing frost damage from my Havoc Demon Hunter. That does not make sense. Well, what happens is your damage as a Demon Hunter is chaos damage. Chaos damage is every school of magic. So it is not clear, but what the tooltip says exactly is no matter what you do with your Troll Glaive, all of your chaos damage is buffed by 10%. That's literally what it says. And then the very next best talent that you can actually use for Demon Hunter is going to be Reverse Magic. So Reverse Magic has a couple ways to actually use it, okay? The first one is whenever your healer is CC'd by Fear, by Polymorph, you just get close to your healer and press Reverse Magic, okay? The other way around is whenever you get rooted, you can actually use Reverse Magic. It unroots you magically, so it makes it a very, very powerful 1-minute cooldown. On top of that, a very secret tip that not a lot of DH players actually know is you can dispel Shadow Priestess dots from yourself without actually fearing yourself, okay? Again, when you dispel Shadow Priestess dots, you get feared for 3 seconds. A way to absolutely negate that and outplay your enemy, which is a Shadow Priest, is you will be using Glimpse, and as you Glimpse, you Reverse Magic. So you dispel all the dots from you and your team and you don't get feared, okay? It works against Affliction, Warlocks, Unstable Afflictions too, so you don't actually get damage from dispelling all the freaking dots from the Warlocks. You're welcome. Leave a like for that tips. Alright, so now let's go over the very best talents for Demon Hunter in Season 4, okay? I will be going over very briefly, okay? No fluff, straight to the point. We are not playing with Mortal Dance anymore, okay? It got nerfed and all the top players right now are actually using Deflecting Dance. The reason why is every time you use Blade Dance, which is the ability that you want to use at all times, it will grant you a huge shield, allowing you to be way more tanky, okay? It is actually worth it for your survivability, okay? Demon Hunter's survivability got a huge hit, and right now it is best in slot. We're playing the Glaive build, which actually makes sense because we're actually using the tier set, which makes it so that we're throwing glaives everywhere, so more glaive damage only makes sense. Okay, Soul Scar is going to be a big source of damage. Right now we're using a Fire Inside. Basically it gives one more charge of Immolation Aura and 25% chance to actually refund a charge. Right now we're playing with Fire Inside because it makes it so that Immolation Aura has one additional charge, and 25% of the time it refunds a charge when used. Immolation Aura right now generates so much fury that having that ability makes it very powerful. So it only makes sense that we're actually playing with Growing Inferno, Burning Wound, and Rage Fire also. Okay, we're going to pick Chaotic Disposition. Okay, the maths behind that freaking passive are beyond my understanding, but basically it makes it so that you're dealing so much damage, it would be dumb to not pick it up. Any means necessary, again, buffing your chaos damage by a ton, going super well with Chaotic Imprint, going with Know Your Enemy since we're forced into playing with some critical strike from tier set. If we were able to not pick up any critical strike, we would not be playing with Know Your Enemy, but since we're forced, well, we're taking this talent too. It sucks. The tier set part actually sucks, but it is what it is. We're playing with Essence Break again. Essence Break, again, it's not back entirely. It deals huge, humongous damage, but it's a little bit far off from the one-shots from Season 1, but it is going to contribute immensely for your big inner demons. And I'm going to show you guys what inner demons are. In fact, I will be showing you guys right now, okay? So Inner Demon, what it does, every time you enter Demon form, which is achievable by pressing I-Beam, your next Annihilation is going to summon another demon, which comes crashing down and hitting everything. Why this is important? Because it's a big part of your burst damage as a demon hunter. And if you don't know how to proc your inner demons, you won't deal as much damage, okay? So I'm going to show you every way possible to actually proc inner demon. So the first one is, again, you use your I-Beam into Annihilation, and then you want to use your Metamorphosis into Annihilation, into I-Beam, into Annihilation. So that was 3 inner demon. That was not the burst rotation though. It was just to show you guys that you actually need, every time you go into demon form, you absolutely need to press your Annihilation to proc that inner demon before going into another demon form, basically. Inner demon is actually super good because it deals huge AoE damage, and I'm going to show you guys how to proc these inner demons in the whole burst rotation shortly, okay? So again, we're playing with the Hunt, we're playing with Rush of Chaos, which reduces the cooldown of meta by 60 seconds. It is going to be super clutch, making your Metamorphosis have a 2-minute CD instead of 3 minutes. Absolutely crazy. Again, play with Collective Anguish. Elysian Decree got nerfed super hard, but if you're actually playing RBGs, it might be smart to switch Collective Anguish for Elysian Decree. We're actually playing with Flames of Fury because Sigil of Flames right now deals a humongous amount of damage, plus it generates a huge amount of fury, so it is actually best in slot at the moment. Oh yeah, and by the way, we're actually playing with Netherwalk because that ability is just too good to pass on. It literally makes you impossible to kill as a GH. Well, almost impossible. Alright, let's get into the full burst rotation, guys. I've installed an add-on which shows the spells that I'm pressing in real time, so it's going to be much less confusing, guys, to just follow along. Alright, so let's get into the full burst rotation, guys. I've actually installed an add-on which shows the spells that I'm pressing in real time, so it is going to be much easier for you guys to actually follow along, okay? So first up, you want to build up that Fury to 70 before going into your whole burst rotation, okay? So your whole burst rotation is going to be pretty much just like so. Big damage! Whoa! That was some huge number, dude. Alright. I-Beam again. Rocking that inner demon as much as we can. Every time we go into demon form, we proc that ability as much as we can. Almost 270k DPS single target. Remember, the H hits way harder when there's multiple people stacking together. So now we're gonna get our Essence Break in a couple of seconds. We're not gonna press it just yet. We're kind of waiting to actually get our I-Beam back, because when we're spending Fury with this character, we are actually getting our I-Beam faster, and we're about to get it. We're gonna use I-Beam into Essence Break, Blade Dance into another inner demon. So that's pretty much how it plays out. I can't wait to see the damage. Death Sweep hitting for almost 300k. It can crit upwards to 480k. I've seen that happen even in PvP, so it's pretty dumb. Death Sweep should always be prioritized above everything else, okay? You can hit Death Sweep, you press it, and then your next global is going to be Annihilation, because Annihilation actually procs your Inner Demon. Inner Demon hitting for 200k, so you absolutely need to hit it 200k, and then it hits everything around it. So that's pretty dumb. Annihilation hitting for around 100k to 150k, which is not bad. Kill Strike, it's your Immolation Aura, kind of dealing some pretty good damage. It hits for almost 100k, like 82k, which is absolutely dumb. Soul Scar hitting for kind of good numbers, man. That's literally what I was talking about. The glaive build, which with your tier set, so it only makes sense to be playing with it. Immolation Aura, again, more damage. The dot from the haunt hits for 500k, but how much did we hit with the haunt? We hit the haunt with the haunt for 415k, which is absolutely not bad. So you see, that's pretty much how you can deal max damage with Demon Hunter right now. As a bonus, I will be putting down a macro in the description, and that macro makes the gameplay for Demon Hunter a little bit more smooth, in my opinion. So whenever you want to use your Metamorphosis, usually you press your Metamorphosis and then you spawn that green circle on the ground, which you need to repress in order to use your Metamorphosis. But now with my macro, what it does is just like cuts out that part entirely. Wherever your mouse is hovering at, whenever you press my macro, bam, there goes your Metamorphosis. I don't know, man, it feels like so much better in my opinion. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you want to help my channel, please share my builds to your friends, to your family, whatever, whoever might enjoy watching and learning from those build videos. It would actually incredibly help me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks a lot for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful time in the season 4 of Dragonflight. See you soon, gentlemen. This was Clunky Doo.